All right, hello there friends, and welcome back to another video by ZionsWatchmanMedia. And today we have got an episode for you guys. We're going to be talking about what has been going on in the USA with the Trump protests. We're going to be also looking at what the Bible has for the US in its future. So this one, we're doing a live stream, so buckle up your seatbelts. We have a lot to cover, and we hope that you enjoy. All right, so recently, if you've been, here, let me get the page up real quick. So recently, if you've been looking at the news, you will have noticed that there have been quite a bit of protest out there. So this is the BBC. Millions turned out for anti-Trump No Kings protest across the United States. So people are obviously upset at this, and we can just imagine that this is the left trying to go out against Trump. And this video here, this is not intended to be a political video. We're just really pointing to where the Bible says all of this will go in the future, or where all of this can go in the future. So millions are protesting against Trump that we see. And here's just this article. We have another one. No kings in the land where Trump is king. It is the latest version of the anti-Trump movement. Can it be effective in a small town? So here we have this picture, this graphic right here as well. Very comical, you could say. Also another one, this one was by The Guardian. Let's just go up. The massive No Kings protests may mark a new American political posture. All right, so here we just have another one with people marching on the streets like this. Now, Trump, it seemed that he was not too fond of this, and he actually released a video of him just mocking all of the protesters on his Trump social. So whether he created the video or whether his one of his workers did, we don't know, but it was released under his Truth Social page right here, and we'll just play a little bit of it. I'm going to turn the music off because the music just isn't good. So let's just take a look at this a little bit and see how he responded. Yeah, so obviously this would be like, yeah, feces dropping upon people, not the nicest thing. And yeah, basically this is how he responded, basically with contempt. And here we see that he actually has a crown upon his head. Incredible. So even though this may be comic, we're going to see that the Bible actually talks about how America is going to end up more in this crown-like monarchy, you could say, or in this crown-like, or in like a crown-like authoritative nation. Okay, and yeah. Now, also as well, Trump also did something, or he announced something that we're going to look at. So let's just take a look at this video right here. And we're going to bring this all together, so just hold on to your seatbelts.
And we show another building, it's an ark. We have versions of it, sizes of it, and it's going to be really beautiful. I think it's going to be fantastic. There's a rendering of what it will look like. You have three sizes. That would be the largest one. This is just a model of what it would look like in either of the three, any of the three sizes, which is right here. I don't know if you can see it. So that's Lady Liberty. Lady, did you ever hear of Lady Liberty? On top. But, so the sizes would be very good. And here's Lincoln. And this is sort of basically.
We can stop it there. So obviously he's trying to construct this ark, and they've called it Arc to Trump right here. So this is a plan that they're going to put. I believe it's going to be put in DC as well. And what is interesting about this is that when we look at just the history of arcs on Wikipedia, it says this: triumphal arcs are one of the most influential and distinctive types of ancient Roman architecture, effectively invented by the Romans, and using their skill in making arches and vaults, The Roman triumphal arch was used to commemorate victorious generals or significant public events such as the founding of new colonies, the construction of a road or bridge, the death of a member of the imperial family, or, catch this, the ascension of a new emperor. Very interesting. So this kind of goes hand in hand with these Trump crown videos or these Trump protests with him being a king. These Trump images of him being a king. All right. So this is very fascinating. Now, why we're bringing this up and why we want to talk about this is because the Bible actually predicts a time when the United States of America is actually going to reject its constitution and become a more king-like nation. It's going to become a king-like nation, actually, similar to that of the papacy. So with that being said, I want us to actually now turn to see what the scriptures have to say about all of this. All right. So if we turn to our slides here, we can just begin reading. This is Revelation chapter 13, starting at verse 14. The Bible says this, speaking about the United States of America, and we've done a whole video on Revelation chapter 13 where we've looked at the powers in this chapter. I'll leave a link to that in the description. Highly recommend that you go and watch that if you don't know much about this chapter. But basically, the United States is being talked about here. And let's see what it says. It says this, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So the Bible says that the United States is going to create this image to the beast. Now, an image is a copy of something. If I take a photograph of you and then I show you, it's going to be a copy of what of you, basically. So the Bible says that the United States is going to create a copy of this beast right here. And this chapter of Revelation 13, it's a symbolic chapter, my friends. It's not speaking about a literal beast. It's symbolic. And this beast right here, it's the first beast that we read about in Revelation chapter 13 that America makes an image to. And this beast is the papacy. Let's just read about it. Revelation 13 verse 1, it says this, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. All right, we've studied this before. Check out our Revelation 13 video. But basically, this beast rises up out of the sea. Seas in Bible prophecy represent a multitude of people. Papacy came up out of Europe, from a multitude of people. Okay, it came to power then. And then it has these horns on its head, symbols of powers, and then it has crowns as well. Obviously, that could be a symbol of royalty, we could say. And then it speaks this blasphemy. We know that the papacy is a blasphemous power. Its popes, they claim to be God, and etc. They claim to be able to forgive sin also. It's priests. But in any case, let's just go forward. Here we have a picture of this beast that John saw, the first beast. And I got this picture from this website right here. Not endorsing the teachings on this website, but this is where I just grabbed the picture from. Okay. And then we just have a picture of the papacy. This is the power being spoken about in Revelation 13, that Antichrist power. And when we look at this power, it's very interesting because we see that in the papacy, it has a king. Even from its very inception, it started with the bishops going to Constantine. You have this church-state union. Constantine was the emperor or the king, you could say. And then he transferred his power to the Bishop of Rome. And the Bishop of Rome, throughout the Middle Ages, reigned as a king over the other kings of the earth. He was, you could say, trying to act like a false king of kings, you could say. And here we just have the Bishop of Rome placing the crown upon Charlemagne, King Charlemagne in the Middle Ages. And here we just see that the king, the papacy or the Pope wears a crown. This is the triple tiara right here, like a king would. So this is very interesting. Now, America is said to, or is going to, create an image to this beast. In other words, it's going to create a form of government similar to the papacy and what the papacy is and what it was in the Dark Ages. In other words, it's going to create a church state authoritative system. Excuse me, my friends. Authoritative system that we saw in the Dark Ages. This is what is coming from America, and whether or not these just these images of Trump, are just a little game, or if they're actually like giving us a foretaste of what is coming, which I believe it is giving us a foretaste of what is coming, whether Trump is the one who changes this government completely over to the image of the beast or not. This should really, just wake us up to the trend or to where the mindset of the nation is going. All right. They're seeing Trump as this king. And this is where the nation will go eventually. It will be like the papacy, and it will have a king, and it will have a authoritative leader over it that rejects the freedoms and consciousness of the individual. All right, let's turn back to our slides right here. Get back to these slides. All right. So here we have another picture of the Pope with the triple tiara, sitting like a king, reigning. You see him on this throne or chair-like couch. All right. So now I want us to read from a book called The Great Controversy. This was a prophetic book written by Ellen G. White. Highly recommend that you read this book. The link will be in the description. All right. So this is The Great Controversy, 1888, page 442. Speaking about this first beast or the United States of America, it says this: the prediction that it will speak as a dragon and exercise all the power of the first beast, the papacy, plainly foretells the development of the spirit of intolerance and persecution that was manifested by the nations represented by the dragon, speaking about Rome right here, and the leopard-like beast, the papacy. And the statement that the beast with two horns causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, speaking about the United States of America, indicates that the authority of this nation is to be exercised in enforcing some observance which shall be an act of homage to the papacy. We're going to see later on that this observance, we're going to see it's actually Sunday observance or Sunday worship. This is what gives the papacy homage. Such action would be directly contrary to the principles of this government, to the genius of its free institutions, to the direct and solemn avowals of the Declaration of Independence, and to the Constitution. The founders of the nation wisely sought to guard against the employment of secular power on the part of the church, with its inevitable result, intolerance and persecution. My friends, the Bible predicts a time when Sunday observance is going to be enforced upon the people. And I have a slide right here just showing, talking about this. In verses 16 to 17 of Revelation 13, the Bible says this: and he, speaking about America, causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. This mark that is being spoken about right here, it's speaking about Sunday observance. The mark of the beast is not some literal mark that's branded upon or tattooed upon the forehead and the or the hand right here. No, it's a symbolic or spiritual mark that shows one's allegiance to the papacy. Remember, the entire chapter, or remember that the chapter of Revelation of Revelation 13 is a symbolic chapter. Therefore, it's pretty safe to say that this mark here is a symbolic mark. All right, that's how we are consistent with our interpretation. All right, and Let's just read also as well, just on how the papacy actually claims Sunday observance to be its mark of authority. This is from M.F. Fallon. This is the Bishop of London, and he wrote this in 1923, the Catholic Record. It says this: the church is above the Bible, and this transference of Sunday observance from Saturday to Sunday is positive proof of that fact. That's heavy. Thus, by the same divine authority, in virtue of which she did away with the Jewish Sabbath and substituted therefore the Christian Sabbath, the Catholic Church legislated as to how the Lord's Day should be observed. All right, so they are saying that they are above the Bible, and also as well, the proof of this, or the proof of this authority, you could say, is that they have transferred the Sabbath from, which is on Saturday, or sunset Friday to sunset Saturday, to Sunday, the first day of the week. So they're saying we're above the Bible because we changed the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday. All right, it is their mark of authority. It's the mark of the beast. Also, you have the catechism right here, Canon's Doctrinal Catechism on Obedience Due to the Church. Question: have you any other way of proving that the church has power to institute festivals or a precept? Answer: had she not such power, she could have not done that in which all modern religionists agree with her. She could not have substituted the observance of Sunday, the first day of the week, for the observance of Saturday, the seventh day, a change for which there is no scriptural authority. My friends, they are saying that there is no reason for us to be keeping Sunday. If you are going by the Bible. If you're going by the Bible, you should be going to Saturday for your day of worship, the Sabbath, which falls on the seventh day of the week. All right. But because they claim that they are above the Bible, they say that, hey, we can actually change this day from Sabbath to Sunday. It's the mark of our authority. All right. And since America is going to actually, enforce this upon the people, that lets us know that there is going to be a time when there are going to be, when Sunday observance will be mandatory upon the people. And if you don't receive this, you're not going to be able to buy or sell. This is going to be a life or death issue. And it really does just reject the teachings on which the Constitution was built upon, like freedom of religion. Let's look at another statement right here. This is Testimonies to the Church, Volume 5, page 451. When Protestantism, this is speaking about, or this can speak about the United States of America, a Protestant nation, shall stretch her hand across the gulf to grasp the hand of the Roman power, when she shall reach over the abyss to clasp hands with spiritualism, when under the influence of this threefold union our country shall repudiate every principle of its constitution as a Protestant and Republican government, and make provision for the propagation of papal falsehoods and delusions. Sunday observance. Then we may know that the time has come for the marvelous working of Satan, and that the end is near. My friends, Sunday observance, it's going to completely go against the Constitution. The United States is going to go against its Constitution, and it's going to start acting like a monarchy, enforcing laws upon the people, going against that can go against one's conscience. And if you do not go along with this, my friends, the Bible says you are going to be cut off from buying or selling. And if you go down in Revelation, you'll see also that there's going to be a death decree for those who not go along with this Sunday observance. This is very serious. This is where America is going. We need to get serious, my friends. The end is near. Now, just to end off on a certain quote right here, I want us to look at the statement from The Great Controversy, page 8. Great Controversy, 1888, page 450. It says this: in the issue of the contest, all Christendom will be divided into two great classes: those who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus, and those who worship the beast and his image, worship the papacy, and receive his mark. Although church and state will unite their power to compel all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive the mark of the beast, yet the people of God will not receive it, The prophet of Patmos beholds them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of God, and singing the song of Moses and the Lamb. My friends, we have a choice to make. Are we going to stand with Jesus Christ and his word and keep his true Bible Sabbath? Or are we going to go along with this image of the beast system, this king-like American system that's going to start enforcing Sunday observance upon its people? This is going to be a life or death issue. And I really pray, my friends, that we are ready for it, because it is coming soon. The things that we're seeing with Donald Trump in the United States, it's hinting at the direction that we're going on in this nation, and it's going to be very serious. So let us wake up, my friends. Let us wake up. Obviously, we don't want a king in this nation, but and we need to get serious. Let us get serious. All right. And just the fact that that America is doing things that resemble Rome should really just, really stir us. I mean, here you have a golden eagle. This was one of the symbols in Rome as well that they had. So America is becoming more Rome-like, more Rome-like. And we're going to see that as time progresses, this image of the beast is really going to gain more strength and more power. And it's going to start looking more papal-like, more papal Rome-like, that church-state system. Trump is surrounded by the evangelicals, surrounded by Sunday-keeping Christians, and they have an influence on him. All right, this thing is serious, my friends. Let us wake up and let us give our lives to Jesus. So we hope that you got something from this video. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe, leave us a comment below, and let us know what you think about this. But with that being said, God bless, and we will see you guys in the next video. Until next time.